Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people at Shut Door or Door Shutter, coming back to you with episode 4 of FTB NeoTech, and today we are acquiring some villagers. If you don't know, we have a mod called Easy Villagers in here that allows for us to... Oh, let's see. Are these guys... Let's take this block out. We're taking out job blocks here real quick to make sure these guys are unemployed. So this guy's unemployed, so shift right click will give you the ability to pick them up. And then let's take out this barrel. And then we're going to chase after this guy. Shift right click. And I'm not going to worry about the children. We could pick the children up and we could throw them into an incubator to get them grown up. But honestly, not too worried about that. I think we've got quite a bit of villagers. Just wanted to show you how we quickly do this, though. So, with these villagers, we will definitely be using these to get better enchants, basically as quick as possible. I don't know if trades have been altered in any capacity, and if they have, this is probably going to go right down the drain real quick. I know the trader is the same recipe, which does require redstone, which is going to be an issue. What is this? Because, of course, redstone's not as easy to get in this pack, because you can't just go pick it up and fortune it, or, you know, just pick it up and get 5 or 6. You have to run it through a macerator and all of that stuff. So we're going to have to look at this. What is this area? So, by the way, if you hold shift and use a hammer, by the way, it'll actually just mine one block. Don't think I ever mentioned that. What? What in the world? You realize that you are catching on to the secrets of success. It's just a matter of concentration. What? Now I kind of just want to tear this whole thing apart. Like, why is there just randomly a whole bunch of diamonds sitting in a... Is that a needle in a haystack? Is that what we're looking at or something? Like, genuinely kind of confused on that one, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my horse is back over here, by the way. I was about to leave without him again. I did it earlier. I found him. Also, there is a Better Desert Temple up there. Young's Better Desert Temple. I'm not going to even try and conquer that. I think I might in the future, because if I'm not mistaken, there is a lot of redstone stuff in there, and that might be useful. But of course, that does come with... I don't know if the mod's been updated to kind of prevent you from picking stuff up, because if it has, I mean, good, because I think that was one of my complaints, is that we could just come in there and just take a whole lot of redstone for basically no cost whatsoever. But in this playthrough, I'm kind of wanting to do that because I don't have as much access to get an overabundance of redstone early on. So that might be an option. Definitely. And of course, it's going to be on our map and everything. And I think this is a pillager town, ain't it? Nope, this is just another village with just different types of villagers. Alright, so I'm working on the building for MI, and of course this building will be expandable. All we'd have to do is knock out a wall and then push it over in that direction. But I wanted to point something out with this pack that I think is not really the pack's fault, partially. Because one of the things that I love to have in modded Minecraft is a construction wand, building gadget, something of that sort. Of course, construction wands or building wands, I think one of them is building wands. It is for Forge, not NeoForge 1.20.4. And so we can't use that one. Construction wands is only on 1.20.1, and it's also Forge and not NeoForge, which I think 1.20.1 is kind of that branch point from Forge to NeoForge kind of becoming important. Like past 1.20.1, NeoForge basically has no ties with Forge. So you can't just take a 1.20.4 mod and throw it over into a NeoForge project. So the other thing is, of course, we have building gadgets, but they made it more expensive. So we're not going to be able to do that, which I don't like. So that one is on the pack. The others are, of course, just with all of these different changes happening, that is definitely something. So we're going to have to spend a little bit more time placing a lot of these blocks. Just wanted to bring that to your attention. Kind of just, you know, some things I notice about the pack. I think I want to start trying to do that more to where it's kind of breaking down like, hey, this is this is something I don't like about the pack, right? And of course, they could change it. They could get rid of this recipe and have, you know, charging gadgets in here, which I don't even think they have charging gadgets. Charge gadget, which is Direwolf 20's like separate power mod, which I understand because of course then that would give you an early game RF source. But like having maybe like somebody create like a hand crank power system that could work. I mean, because I know the FTB team is capable of a lot of things, genuinely, and that's kind of why I'm suggesting something a little bit more technical and a little bit more time consuming, because I think they could genuinely do it, and I think that would really add to kind of the early game when you're starting to build your house and your factories and stuff. Instead of increasing the recipe of the building gadget, kind of keep those utilities very open, because of course accessibility and also just saving people time. All right, enough rambling. Let me get this built up and we'll be back. Alrighty, so we have the start of a villager trading hall, the start of the MI workshop, and of course we can expand it over in this direction. I'm kind of settling into building some buildings to actually kind of be useful here. And this one, you know, we've got a lot of area to the right, and then of course I need to make a little building here for our our mine shaft. But other than that, we've kind of been cruising. One thing I did notice is technically I don't think we're supposed to have this impact hammer. It's not craftable, which is intentional by FTB, by the FTB team. You're only supposed to be able to get the normal hammers. So finding this in the dungeon, I'm assuming they missed a loot table and did not remove it. Am I going to question that as a bug? I'm going to say it's a feature because I love this impact hammer and I don't want to get rid of it. Never, ever, ever. But yeah, so we've been able to get a little bit of mending going so I can actually use this hammer for a lot longer. I just will never be able to upgrade this hammer, which is kind of a sad, you know, fact of the matter. But diamond will be fantastic. We'll get unbreaking on it as well to just kind of aid it a little bit, because of course this is silk touch. I actually should have, I didn't even think about this. What I should have done is actually come back over here, because I grabbed a grindstone from somewhere and I should have disenchanted it. I'm going to waste the mending enchant that I just put on it. I'm just going to re-grab the mending enchant, because at the end of the day, I should be able to put Fortune 3, which I actually have that already. We've got enchantment, or librarians over there, by the way. So I've kind of just been working on it, and I'll just go grab. Let me actually head back over there. Where is my books? I grabbed those. Emerald's perfect. And we'll just be able to get another mending book. And this is like 16 per book, which is fantastic. I was getting like 20, 41, and I just kept risking it until I finally got that. But yeah, we've got Infinity, we've got Silk Touch, and actually, I placed these guys down, and they already had Silk Touch and Infinity. So that was just like perfect right off the bat. Pretty decent Silk Touch trade, pretty decent Infinity trade, and then of course I had to work with these two, but nothing too crazy. Not a whole lot of time. I spent a lot more time building this building than I have actually trading with villagers. So let's get that Fortune 3. Okay, so we're going to need some more levels. Can I put mending on here as of current? I can. Because I want to get this repaired first and foremost. And of course, I went and cut down a lot of trees. And since this axe, this time to leaf axe has the mending on it, it's definitely helpful as well. So we're able to repair our tools and everything and kind of get a jump start on a lot of the shenanigans that is offered in this pack. Okay, so I'm going to get some levels, get some more trading going, and I hope you guys... I do like this trading hall. Of course, I used the normal, just another chisel mods, marble bricks, not the red power version, so that way we can actually break these and pick them up and replace them and stuff. I've also thrown some cracked bricks in here as well to kind of vary the texture. I did attempt to put white wool, but I kind of forgot to do that on this side, and I actually could just pick these guys up and put it back, but I will probably do that later. Because I don't really feel like doing it right now. Also, magma blocks. I always mention this anytime I do villager trading. Magma blocks are a must. Mostly because, of course, it prevents them from pathing. This is also server side. It helps with server performance if you put magma blocks down. I think it used to be either a double carpet or a single carpet, but it seems like magma blocks are probably the best way to do it. They also don't search for a job block. So right now you can see he's kind of looking around. He's, figuring it out, which this is actually more taxing on a server because they're like, hey, where's my job block? What is happening? So once I put him here, they kind of stop that search. And of course, we can, just make sure that nothing else is affected by just double down, put the fletching table back. And I also think that there's some, issues whenever you trade without a job block in front of them, like prices and stuff, and it doesn't circulate properly and a couple other things. But I'm not 100% sure on those technical parts, just on the fact that it does, and when you have a massive trading hall, it'll start affecting your performance. Or, if you have 5-10 people on a server, it could affect performance even more. So just keep that in mind. I'll stop rambling. We'll start trading, and hopefully by the time we're done, we'll have a decent impact hammer, axe. Of course, we already have. I would love to get a diamond pickaxe. We do have a couple diamonds, of course, from the dungeon loot, and maybe we'll look at a sword, but I might just keep using the axe as a weapon for now. Alrighty, so with this villager trading hall, I quickly added an Industrialist, which if you don't know, the job block is a forge hammer, so it's a little expensive. 5 iron, 2, 4, 6, 11 iron in total. And one of the things with these guys is they are modern industrialization villagers. Specifically, this is going to be helpful, okay? So, one of the things is, of course, copper and tin. There's quite a few other trades you can get from these guys. Actually, I guess we could really quickly go grab another forge hammer, and we could kind of cycle through a couple of their beginning trades. Alright, so, with the forge hammer and a villager, we're going to just get this guy set down. And so one of the things you'll notice is, first off, you can get a steel hammer from this. I don't know if the steel hammer works because it has been removed from EMI, so I would not recommend grabbing one. Might as well not waste emeralds. But you can get like fire clay bricks, copper, tin, lignite coal does not spawn, so this trade is kind of useless. So cycling until you get something like I did over here with this villager, where we're getting tin and copper in the beginning. Fantastic. So right here, I'm going to go for this one. And I'm going to get tin, because I really don't have a whole lot of tin, honestly. So let's just grab as much as we can from that. And that'll actually just build up towards us. So there we go. There we go. We got some good ones. Copper rotors used in, I think it's fluid pipes. Right? Fluid pipes from Industrial Foregoing. I don't think they're used in item pipes. But of course, you got to remember also, you're going to have some... do I not have the ability to even make item pipes? I'm just getting them from quests. Okay, I didn't know that actually. But yeah, so copper rotors, good for fluid pipes. Fantastic. Cool. We could also get copper gears, so we're kind of saving a little bit on copper, especially because these emeralds are basically free at this point. With this guy, we actually got a trade for sulfur, which if you didn't know, macerating coal down into the crushed coal dust, down into the coal dust gives you sulfur as a byproduct when you make coal dust in a macerator. So, that is awesome. We can get a little bit of emeralds from that. But you also see, we actually have steel plates and also steel upgrades. If you don't know what steel upgrades are, these are going to be fantastic, and I'm pretty sure this is actually a later quest. Yeah, it's like right here. So we won't even be able to unlock this until much later. So we're kind of getting ahead of the quest line, which is fine by me in all points of aspects here. So steel compressor is actually a quest, so I think we could actually complete this. Oh, we still have stuff compressing. Oh, we ran out of water. Okay, I don't care. We're going to take this real quick. Also, I was looking at trying to get a magnet, by the way. We need to get further into modern industrialization to even worry about that. So, we can just shift right-click. And that'll give us a steel compressor. That'll complete a quest. maybe? Steel compressor. Do I need... Okay, so I need to... I thought it went into this. So I need to get uncooked steel dust before I can do it. Okay, we're not going to care about the quest then. But I will have to reset that filter. So one thing I did forget, or somebody informed me of, is you can actually just click, so in this case, shift right click, the location that you're trying to attach to with a item pipe, so that way you can kind of enable it without having to wrench it. But of course, if you don't have an item pipe, like in this case, if I were to use this item pipe, I would not be able to do this. So that's kind of the downside of it, but overall, we're doing pretty decent with it. And that's just a really cool tip that I did. I think I remember saying it back in all of Fabric 6 or 7, but I just never did it because I never tried to use Modern Industrialization. I tried to avoid that mod as much as humanly possible. If you did not realize that, that's one reason I kind of gave up on all Fabric 7, was because Modern Industrialization was such a big focus. And we could do steel boiler. Ooh, I didn't. I was kind of joking. I kind of thought there was a different tier of steel boilers, but steel boiler, perfect. So let's go get this filled up. So one of my other things, chemical metallurgic infuser. What do we need for this? So we do need an electric component, which is transistors and steel plates, and electrum fine wire, which is a wire mill, which is steel, bronze gears. Honestly, we could probably obtain this. The only issue is the steel gear portion. Okay, I was just curious. Kind of seeing what we need to do to progress. We'll definitely need to get the blast furnace soon. Let's also get rid of some of the stuff I have in here. I think that's all I have in the way of ores. So yeah, I mean, we kind of can cheese this just a little bit more. I think one of the biggest things with the Modern Industrialization villagers, of course, is they definitely are going to be, very useful for certain things. I thought he was max tier, but no, he was an expert, now he's a master. He gives us analog circuits. I thought these were the electric circuits, but they're not. But what can we use these for? Basic tier installer, item terminal, drill core for actually additions, coal generator. So these are important. That's what I'm seeing. These are important. Looks like we also need to get into just dire things to even get close to some of the stuff in here. Coal generator. We've got iron casings. Reinforced stone. So we need to get a pneumatic craft, it looks like, as well. And one of the ways to get this is to get ferrite core and compress that into a steel compressor. And I do think I remember how to get ferrite core. We just need to get, like, just dire things goo, right? So this primo gel doesn't really look that bad. We would just need to get a mixer, of course. And then once we get the goo, we just set this down next to iron blocks, and those iron blocks then over time would become ferrite core. And then, yeah, so it's just here. So you put that next to it, blocks of iron, get raw ferrite ore. It's pretty interesting. We'll have to look into it, definitely. I'm going to actually grab some rotors here so I can get some good stuff going in. Ooh, bronze gears, fantastic. Another lovely pick. But I'm going to look at the blast furnace stuff here real quick. So with that, let's see. So chapter 2, we need the steam blast furnace. Okay, so we need 20 clay fire bricks. So let's just bookmark that. Go back here. A steam blast furnace, like controller looking thing. Bronze item input hatch, output hatch, and then fluid input hatch. Okay. So that looks like it's everything we need. So let me get this stuff And we will be right back here in a second. Also, we may need to look at getting a coke oven. I know this is optional, but it might not be a bad idea because that does lead us into immersive engineering, which may not be a bad idea. Ooh, and it gives us an advanced fluid tank. That actually might be worth something, kind of just pushing into that. And it looks like this is the MI version, Modern Industrialization. Well, this is the immersive engineering. So this one, I would probably be more for because we wouldn't have to make any more boilers or anything. Because this, of course, would probably require, let's see, steam coke oven is much faster than the immersive engineering variant. However, it needs to be powered with steam. Yeah, so this one requires us to have an extra step. While this one, while it is very slow, would allow for us to get cold coke without really worrying about it. Chimney Christmas. I heard this guy, but I just did not think he was standing at the door. Oh, goodness. Okay. So let's get some bricks. Do I have any bricks? I've got 2 bricks. I think I have normal bricks. Brick. I have normal brick. A stack of brick. And so I need 20 for the quest, and then I think it rewards me with the rest. Yeah, because you need 27 at the end of the day. So let's go for 2 more sets. And then we'll just throw these guys in a furnace. And that should give us coke, bricks, and then we'll make a coke oven. I think we'll probably throw this in the MI factory that we've done. And that'll be okay. So I'm going to let that cook up. Alrighty, so we should have everything here to get the coke brick oven. Or coke oven, I think is what it's just called. We just claim some quest real quick. Do we get more food? What is this? Roasted kohlrabi? Kohlrabi? Okay, cool. Just different food types. So, in here, we're just going to get this set up. I believe the recipe for this is just a solid 3x3. If the last thing I remember. And then you take a engineer's hammer and smack it in the middle. And so now what we can do is we can go grab iron and some coal to then start getting... No, not iron. This is coal coke oven. Goodness gracious, hold on. So this is just coal and coal. And we can actually just press recipe on this. No? Okay, we gotta click recipe on that. Okay. So, coke oven. So just coal and creosote oil will be result of this. Primal coal can actually give us pure coal coke or coke with no creosote at the end. Okay, interesting. So we're going to throw in a stack here. Okay, thrown into stack. And what should happen is over time we should get coal coke, or coke in this case. Anytime I say coal coke, I mean coke. Coke and coal coke are like really synonymous. By the way, I'm not 100% sure why we have some that are coal coke and some that are coke, and it gets really confusing. And for the most part, I've always called it coal coke. Alrighty, so a little bit of time has passed here, and I've been working on a couple things. First things first, I did an auto villager breeder. If you don't know how this works, basically there's a couple ways to do this, but this is the one I like to do, where we've got a farmer which has carrots in it. The carrot grows, then gets pulled out through this item pipe, pushed into here. Once this gets a certain amount of carrots in here, these 2 villagers will then breed. That baby villager that's produced here will then be output into this iron chest, back into here, into the villager input. Then it'll be output as an adult. It's a really super simple setup. We've done it several times in other series, but it's just a farmer block, breeder block, incubator block, and then of course item pipes connecting it. If you don't want the buffers, you don't have to have them. There are like minor buffers inside of the inside of here for 4. There's 4 here as well. But of course, once these fill up, then this, you know, would be backlogged. Of course, having one at the end, of course, having a chest at the end is just a good idea, so you don't have any backlog anywhere. And I think right now I don't really need this villager. So we're actually going to put him back. But I've been working on getting enchants, getting sticks, of course, fletching villagers for sticks, getting some more industrialists. I also went ahead and got an armorer because, of course, they can give us diamond gear. And I've actually already got diamond gear now with all of the good enchants that I could get. Of course, I do want to get probably a couple more enchants. I think respiration is probably something I'm looking at. And I know there are some enchants that we could get that are needed using an enchantment table, because I think there's like superior protection and stuff, or sharpness, things like that. Yeah, so there's advanced protection here. We can't get that through trades. We'd have to get that purely through enchantment, I would assume. I don't know if there's really any way to tell. I think it's enchantment, but yeah, so we've got tons and tons of space to grow, but I just wanted to update you guys on that. Nothing too crazy on that front, but we did get, you know, diamond armor, and that is fantastic. So, let me be right back. I want to actually start on getting the kind of semi-updated ore processing, because that would be a good idea. So let's kind of get started on that. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so we are going to see about getting a little bit of upgrades here to our current ore processing, but also work on getting kind of just a little bit more automated system set up. I've got a steel water pump down here, or in my inventory here, and we're going to set this down here. That's what I meant to say. Not 100% sure how this fully functions, but we're going to kind of just surround it with an infinite water source here. So just like this. And I know this requires steam, so I'm going to get a boiler, which I actually have one. I just need to have enough room for it. Let me put some stuff away there real quick. Okay, and then we've got a steam boiler. So I'm actually going to place one down here. Let's actually place all of them down here. So let's just do steam boiler, steam boiler, steam boiler, steam boiler. And we'll have our steam line come through here. No, that's probably not the best idea, because I can't do multiple, right? Unless I get colored cables. Is that what I'm thinking? Is that how that works? So if I were to go get some colored cables, let me do that real quick. Alrighty, so we've got blue fluid pipes here, and we're going to see if we can use these two separate lines in the same row. So let's see. Ah, that does work. Okay. I figured that was how it's going to work. So what we're going to do is the blue line will be the water. So we're going to say extract only, and we're going to insert there. That should be proper. And then we're going to take the normal colored line, and we're going to extract. So this will be steam, and this will be our main line up as well. And I might need more steam water, or the steel water pumps to actually be able to do this, but we'll see here. So now what we'll need to do is we'll just need to insert steam. So we need to kind of kickstart this by getting a water bucket. Okay, so can I just shift click? No, I can't. So I'd have to do... Oh, I shift click inside the interface. Okay. It's a little weird to me, but that'll work. Okay, and then we just need to go get coal. So I probably also want to grab item pipes while we're upstairs. And we should be able to kind of set this to where it'll pull out of a chest or an inventory, and we should be good. Alright, so I should be able to add one more line to this. And what we're going to do is we're then going to... Yes, insert only is actually exactly what we want. So then we'll be able to put the filter of coal. And then from there, we can just set down... how do we want to set this barrel? I think right here is fine. And we'll set this to extract coal. And I don't think there's any round robin options, so we're just going to let that run. Okay. And that should start us off, right? This should start pumping water. This should start getting water. Are we able to sustain this? Okay, so yeah, the item pipes are a little weird with how they work. Moved items 16. So there's only 16 per, and I don't know if there's a way to increase that. Okay, so these are all heating up. They're all getting water, so they should start producing steam. They're piping steam into here currently, which is fine. So this will hit 16 millibuckets, and then it should never drop. So now we'll just take the fluid pipes, and we'll pipe them up. I probably want to... I should have kept them against the wall. Maybe I will do another steam line that is just going against the wall. That'll be fine. I'll have to go grab more pipes because I put them away, I think. But then we'll just put them up here, and then we'll push them up top into one singular line, and then we'll just have our machines that we need upstairs to then be able to be used here. So that'll be fantastic. Alrighty, let's get this stuff placed here. So fluid pipes, just get extraction. Get extraction. I like how I don't have to filter any of this either, which is fantastic. It just goes out of the pipe. Okay, and then we're going to just run this up. So kind of just along this floor. And I don't even know how many machines this technically is. That's 2, 3, 4. 4 machines. Okay, that should be over enough then. Okay, and then we can do that. Perfect. And then so this looks like it's enough water, but we'll see whenever we actually start using steam and stuff. So the steel macerator, how are we going to set these? So this is going to be the central point. This is where your ores are put in. And then because that's the problem, is I like how I had it previously. So maybe I will just like push over to a corner rather than having it in the center. So that way I can actually kind of keep what we had. So macerator and then chest, which we actually need to make sure that we set this beforehand. Where is my wrench? There it is. So this, we'll have that as our buffer point. And then steel macerator, steel compressor, steel furnace, and then I'll have to reset up all of the, config and all that stuff, but that's fine. So auto output, auto output, auto output, goodness, output, goodness. Okay, and then we can just do this. And then the way we had this was very simple. Nothing too complex. We'll just knock. I don't want those to connect, though. That point, that looks better to me, in my opinion. Okay, and then we're just going to do input, 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 output, output, output. Will be this side. And then I'll have to re-get all the items that we had originally, because I don't currently have any of those dusts or crushed any pieces or anything like that. So a hopper and a chest. So this will be our input. And then I think our final will be... I don't even remember how I did the output, honestly. I think it was just these 3 chests at the end of the day. We really didn't use this storing chest 3. So we'll just leave that at there. How do you put camouflage on these? I thought you could camouflage these. Wasn't there something about camouflaging blocks? You can go even further. Create a facade out of any block for the pipes to blend seamlessly into your build by sneak right-clicking on a block you want the pipes to display as. Oh, okay. So just like that. That's actually really simple. I just overthought it. Okay. And that is fine. some potatoes. So one thing we will need to do, though, is we'll need to get some torches placed down here on the walls or something so this doesn't get too dark in this area. But that should be our ore processing. I'll have to go through and make sure we set up everything. Filtering-wise, we'll do that completely off camera, though. Alrighty, so with that ore system done, we're actually going to wrap this one up here. We'll come back next episode, get the steam blast furnace, wire mill, and a few other machines going with modern industrialization. But thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.